Well, we have a return, as well as you. Of course, if you hear my voice, that means you're at the right place at the right time, wearing the right uniform, and more importantly, with the right folks. Eating at the coolest restaurants are us, and that's going to be us sitting there ready for this Ninjas Pajamas Vitality game to take place. The best of three featuring Pimp. You might know him as Jacob Vinicke. We might know him as Pimpasaurus. You might also know Maniac in the middle. Of course, my name's Trace, and welcome back, everybody. This is DreamHack Master Spring 2020, and we're ready to talk a little bit here, but first and foremost, I just think, Maniac, I think it's only appropriate if you can just look to your whatever side it is.
At Jacob? You want me to look at Jacob?
And just give the man a hug. I just feel like the man needs a hug. Oh, that kind of works out in a real way. It's a little bit of
right there. It didn't work out. Didn't feel it.
He really liked it. He just doesn't want to say it. Move it along.
Stone cold. All right. Well, we will move it along. Let's move it along into Sweden, staying alive in this bracket. Now they're going to get to take on Vitality. And I'm talking about NiP first. When we look at the bracket itself, it kind of is a little bit self-explanatory. But perhaps you'd like to walk us through it, Jacob.
Yeah, surely. I mean, it is self-explanatory, and we did see it today already that the bracket is kind of forming up now. Mad Lions beating Fnatic. I don't know if we expected that, but that bounced up for a good matchup tomorrow. Now we're taking up Mad Lions. Now today we're going to watch Vitality taking on NiP, a game that I'm looking very much forward to. I think both me and Maniac was a little bit disappointed in NiP yesterday. They should have beaten Astralis, and they should have beaten them more convincingly than they did. Big Clan, the big surprise of the tournament so far, absolutely cruising it through. Have a game against G2 in that upper bracket. That's going to be interesting to see later on. But for now, let's focus on Vitality. Let's focus on NiP.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do it right here. Maniac, I think just kicking it off, talking a little bit about what's going on within the Vitality camp is probably your specialty. So why don't we just do this right here? What do we know about Vitality?
What do we know? Well, Vitality is a team that is currently finding its new identity. Obviously, the loss of Alex was a heavy hit for them. It wasn't easy at all. He was doing a lot of the jobs, so Apex actually stood up, rose to the occasion, became the IGL. Obviously, as he said in an interview the other day, helped by Ixtas, their coach, massively. I think Shox's position has changed a little bit in the team. He is more of a voice now. He has more responsibility as well. So it is a Vitality that is trying to find its new shape, trying to find its new way to approach the game. Apex said he still has a lot to learn, not only as an IGL, but as a captain. I really like that comment he made in the interview. He said, I know the game, I know Counter-Strike, but I still have to improve as a captain. I need to lead my men, I need to be an example, and he still needs to learn to do that, but that's a long way, and I appreciate how self-aware he was.
I 100% agree. I think it's great to see Shox getting some more responsibility and also looking into his statistics, right? The past month, he's been sitting at a 1.09 rating, which is 0.08 better than it is the past 3 months. So he's getting better. He's stepping it up. He's getting back to the level where he's not only a guy on the server who is, of course, going to be a voice in the server, but also a guy that actually clutches out rounds, win rounds, and become a hardcore fragger. We talked about it. If this lineup of Vitality want to be a team to be reckoned with, not in terms of like being a top 5 team, a top 10 team, but want to be the best team in the world, we need Shox back at his prime time, and we need Cyber to continue what he's doing. And by the looks of it, Shox is slowly but surely getting back to that shape where he's just going to be a monster to play against.
And is it a strange sentiment to have, because it's almost like this lineup was not founded around the principle of, hey, let's play around Xiaowu and whatever magic he can bring in the server. But now it seems like it's kind of shifting away from that, and that's got to be beneficial for Vitality.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I've been there. I've been in a team where you depend on only one player. In the time it was Kenias, and it didn't work out to make the cut. Counter-Strike is just too heavy competitive right now. You cannot have just one player shining and destroy everyone. The simple case is also very clear about that. You need to have a whole roster. You need to have a system coming with you. So Shox being that number 2, I think Mizuta could be a number 3 as well in terms of fragging. He's been doing well. I think his debut have been good, but you need more than just a shining ZywOo. And just to touch quickly on the Apex topic and the IGL scene, these teams have played in the past 3 months 12 maps against each other. They have played every map but Train. So when you're an IGL, when you go into the mental game, when it becomes a chess game, this is going to be a weird one and certainly a special one to call for Apex.
Yeah, I would really hate to spoil Vito's right now, so I'm not going to. But instead, we'll hear what Vitality's got cooked up over in their camp.
First, we didn't expect Heroic to pick Mirage, so we were not as much prepared for it. And it's a map we didn't play a few days, so we take it as definitely an experience to learn from it and to be ready for the other teams if they pick Mirage again.
Give him a gap to work with, or just barely misses that op shot. I mean, we saw Bora pressured so quickly off of the triple box. Masuda, so much cash.
playing this two against Eric was pretty fine. We were prepared for it, and it was really important for us to show that we still have the level on this two because we lost it 2 or 3 times in a row.
Already. They're going to be trying to cross on long. RPK tapping them back. 3! Whoa. It all falls on Cadian, and it's a difficult 1v4 clutch.
So far, our Vertigo is pretty good. I think a lot of teams are scared about us on it, and we just proved again tonight that we definitely enjoying the map, and we are ready to face anyone.
He's going to jump down into the bomb site, but it's Essence to best him, and Apex looking to find his impact. Bomb carrier back behind the orange, and Tess's, he's looking the wrong direction. Cadian's going to get pushed. Bomb goes down, but still Apex, he has taken back the site by storm. And Nico, he's got only 4 health. Apex, hell of a...
Talking about NiP, it's a team we are playing in every event. I don't know how much time we played in, like 2 or 3 weeks. It's amazing. It's definitely gonna be a tough match. When you play a team like this so often, you adapt to the other. The last time we made them, it was a really hard fight, and I know for sure that it's gonna be a hard fight again. Let's just try to enjoy the game and see how it goes. Have fun.
And it's almost like he does it on purpose, but you know he doesn't. How is Apex such a meme machine, Maniac?
I don't know. He has the power in itself, and it's a great power that comes with great responsibility. He's always capable of making the weirdest faces.
Yeah.
It's the favorite aspect of play with Apex, for sure.
Now, Jacob, can you give me like, there was one really famous one, right? Before we talk about the ninjas in pajamas, there's one really famous one. I think he's like, something like that, no? There it is. Yeah, I think he had his eyes open, but you get the point.
Photoshop potential, that one.
The photo, yeah, just for Jacob, though.
I messed up. You always do that to me, Trace.
Yeah, I did it too, so don't feel bad, Pimp Stash. Okay. Now, with that said, let's get into the discussion that is the ninjas in pajamas. We saw them beat Astralis, which is already weird to say, just rolling off the tongs right here.
Yeah, and it's even more weird when you think to yourself that we saw them beat Astralis and there was a horrible showing by NiP. They weren't looking good yesterday. They were supposed to beat Astralis. They're supposed to do it convincingly. I think both me and Matthew agrees that this lineup, when you look at the players, it's a very interesting prospect right now. A lot of young talent, a lot of untested potential there, State, and the fact that they didn't play better against Astralis, who's currently bleeding and playing with 7, 8, 9, 10 man rosters, we don't even know. It's not looking good, right? So yesterday was a day off for NiP. The only positive thing I want to drag away was Trist having an immense game, especially on overpass, clutching it out, dragging them through it, and the fact that NiP already now is at a point where even they're having a bad game, even though they're not playing well, they're still able to win. And that is, after all, a healthy sign.
Yeah, super healthy. And speaking of the health of this lineup, it was a healthy showing, and moreover, a physical fitness test for Twist yesterday, as he had to put this team on his back in a game where we saw Twist do just that and actually be the turning point, be that deciding factor in beating Astralis. Now, I like to say, okay, a player like Plopsky, also possible to have that sort of lethality in the server. What's your take, Maniac?
Yeah, I agree, and I think as expert, it is one of the difficulty that we have right now is to pinpoint the win conditions of NiP. At the same time, it feels like everyone can have a great game and just take it over, but at the same time, who will do it consistently? It does look like Nog and Plopsky will be the 2 players you will go to when you hope for these big performances, but what is great to see is that when these 2 disappear, you can have a player like Twist showing up, taking over clutch after clutch and winning the game. Now, is he going to be able to do that on a regular basis? I'm not exactly sure, but still some questions around the NiP lineup, and I totally echo Jacob's sentiment. Yes, they won against Astralis. Yes, that is supposed to be great, but the fashion really wasn't here.
I mean, what we're saying right now about what Twist did yesterday is kind of relevant to what we're saying about ZywOo with the creation of Vitality, right? Like, in terms of you can't always count on those big chess pieces to make the moves that are necessary. Either way, let's hear from the side of the Ninjas in Pajamas, and perhaps they've got some insight for us.
Yeah, the game against Astralis was really crazy. In the first map, we had pretty good control over everything. They started to get some rounds in the end, and but then we managed to close it out.
Coming in on the trap, and Hampus, yeah, he's terrified. Like, where are you even looking if you're Hampus? They're everywhere, and Yugi's going to be the man to remove it from this bomb site. However, the Deeg is quickly sprung to life. He's looking for the fight, but Rez doesn't give it up.
The second map, I don't know what happened, like the communication was a little bit off, and yeah, they played really good on the nuke. and we weren't really like ready for everything they did. But the overpass, I don't know, it was a roller coaster of a map. Like they had, I mean, we had 8-1 lead, I think, 8-2 or 8-1. And then they managed to come back to 8-7, and then they had a lead in 15-10. And then the twist comes in, clutching 1v4 or 1v3.
He's able to just single-handedly close this last round out. He's done a lot, he's gotten 3, and now it falls to twist to try and get 3 or 4 of his own, I guess. If NiP want to keep themselves in this game. Oh, but Twist playing the mind games and Device on the angle. Oh no, the quick switch, it couldn't be worse timed. He gets the kill anyway.
Oh, is he making noise? Does Twist know? I think he does. He's heard everything. Twist is in a reposition snap. He's not going to check it, and that is the clutch.
To play against Vitality again, it feels like we just know like everything we're gonna do. Like we know their strat book and they know our strat book. So I think playing against them is gonna be like, I think coming up with like individual part. I think that's gonna matter the most, because the strategies, like it feels like we both know them so well. So I think the individual is gonna be like the most important to beat them. We're coming for that revenge Vitality. Even though we've played 10 times the last 2 weeks, we're still ready and hungry for coming for that revenge.
You want to talk about being ready and hungry? Well, NiP certainly got a taste of the delicious treat that was Astralis yesterday, and now they're going to get the chance to try on some different cuisine, perhaps some French cuisine, and we're going to be taking a look at that. But first and foremost, I want to ask you right away what the maps are going to be. What are we talking about when it comes down to a map veto, ladies and gentlemen? I look at this Ninjas in Pajamas and Team Vitality going head-to-head, and I see only 3 maps possible.
Okay, I think Vertigo has a chance to be one of these maps. I think Nuke could be as well. But there are some questions regarding the veto. I'm not gonna lie. This isn't white and black scenario.
No, like you said it yourself, right? These 2 teams have played almost all 7 maps in the map pool. Train is the one certain we know it's not gonna be. Mirage coming in from NiP, Nuke coming in from Vitality. It's like it could be the other way around. We saw it, you know, NiP could have been the team picking Nuke, and I feel like Vitality could potentially have been the team picking into Mirage. So I think both these teams are feeling rather comfortable with these maps. I think both of the teams are thinking to themselves that, hey, we're supposed to be the better team, so let's go with something we're comfortable with. And if we're better, we're going to beat them on their home ground as well.
Okay, here's what's interesting with the map quickly. I mean, Vitality go for that Nuke pick again. Last time and Blast, they got destroyed by NiP 16-7 on Nuke. So that shows confidence. That shows, you know, they have a set of whatever, and they're ready to take on Nuke again. And NiP, on the other hand, they shied away from Overpass. They had picked Overpass. They lost that map, so they go for Mirage. I can respect that. Inferno as their 3rd map. Okay, I'm fine with that. I thought that Vertigo could be the 3rd map, but NiP quickly pushed that one down. So, okay, Mirage, Nuke, Inferno. I'm not exactly sure who it favors. I'd give a slight advantage to Vitality, I think.
Okay, well, you know, that's your opinion, and that's just your opinion, dude. So on that note, we've got the maps. We know exactly what's going on here. We'll come back with some more predictions for you all, but we do know it's going to be Mirage. We do know it's going to be Nuke. We know it's going to be Inferno, and we know that you can participate in Twitch chat. That's right, by using your favorite hashtags. Hell, they're probably not even your favorite hashtags, but we're going to ask you to use them anyway. It's going to be #Vitality or #NiP. Now, either side that you choose, we're going to tally up those votes and take a look at it when we come back from this break. We're going to have this first map of this matchup coming your way. Time to nip it in the bud for Vitality. We're going to be looking at a best of 3 here. We do have our 3 maps. We also have Pimp, or whatever you want to call him. I would call him more so like the Dwight Schrute of esports. And then, of course, to his left, we have Maniac. Not really sure where he kind of falls into there, but we'll figure something out for him. Perhaps you have a few ideas yourself over there in Twitch chat. We already asked you to spam. So that means that we probably got the votes tallied up even more so. We can take a look at those really quickly and begin to dive into what is an actual prediction here by our analyst. And also, let me, oh, that's actually really close. That's very scarily close. Now, let me just also invite you along for a little bit of a journey with me and alongside of us. DreamHackPick'em.com is where you could show up these two gentlemen right there. I was close. These two gentlemen right here that you know more than they do. So let's start with you, Maniac. What do you think? What is your prediction? What is your absolute guns to the wall here prediction?
So my absolute prediction will be Vitality winning in 3 maps. They have won 3 of the last 3 BO3s. I think their map pool is a bit deeper. I think their roster is a bit deeper as well. Obviously, you have ZywOo. Now we've come to a time where you cannot not mention the guy. He's one of the best players in the world. He was the best in 19. He's slowly but surely going back to his very monstrous form. And then you have Shux finding his own way right now. Misuta stepping up to the occasion, being quite solid for a rookie. So for all these reasons, my prediction will go to Vitality.
Yep, and with that prediction, Pimp, I look at this and I think that solidifies the fact that Maniac is the Andy Bernard.
Andy Bernard, okay, I can roll with that.
Yes, that does make a little bit more sense. Right. So, Jacob, let's look at it from your end, though, the Dwight Schrute perspective on this game.
Andy Scherzel is a fool. I think Vitality will win, but I think they'll win 2-0. I look at the maps and I think to myself, NiP, the showing they had yesterday on Nuke wasn't looking good at all against a very vague Astralis. They couldn't get it going. They got absolutely manhandled by a Danish team that were not supposed to win yesterday. So I don't think that's a great pick for them coming in against Vitality. You look towards the other map as well. I'm not really sure. I think Mirage is a map where Vitality, they're playing well. ZywOo, if he gets going with the AWP, it can only be Twist and Nork that can stop him, and they have to take that duel. And I just think ZywOo right now is in a state of mind where he's just ready to kill everyone. So I expect a close game. I expect 2 close maps, but I think Vitality will edge out both. Also, watch out for RPK. I have a feeling he's going to go crazy today.
So I'm looking at you two, and I'm not even going to talk about my prediction. I just kind of want to expand on yours for the time being. And I want to say that, yeah, we've already kind of touched on the fact that, yeah, they can't really rely on Twist to bail them out like that. If it's not Twist, if it's not Nock picking up an AWP or being versatile with a rifle, what is it that we're really looking at here as sort of a pitfall for the NiP side?
You want to go down the line? I mean, it's 5 players, so if we take them out one by one, what's that? There's Plopsky left in there, obviously. There's Rez left in there. 2 of these players could actually show up. I think Rez's position in that team is actually quite interesting, right? Because he used to be the young superstar surrounded by monsters of experience and veterans when he was with Get Right, Exist Forest. And now he's supposed to be more of the mentor. He's supposed to be the all-around player that does it all, that can explain it to the other players, the youngsters around him. So I'm not exactly sure where he fits in that lineup. I'm not sure he himself realizes what positions he has, but this is not the Rez superstar anymore. He's become a role player. He needs to teach, he needs to show the way, and leave Nock and Plopsky, these types of players, just show up and be the stars of tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm looking for those things. And obviously, when I look a little bit further, I look at NiP, and I have a sort of expectation from them. After yesterday, you would think that would light some fire underneath them. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. NiP is going to be my pick. I'm just going to throw it out there so we can continue on. The graphics guy can carry on with his way. And for me, obviously with NiP, like I said, I think that yesterday lights a fire. Maybe it invigorates them and shows them that, hey, that they're capable of doing these things. They're capable of beating these big names. And surely they put Vitality up there on that list, Jacob.
If the question was who's going to be the better team in 6 months from now, I'd probably put my money on NiP, to be completely honest, depending on whether ZywOo stays or not, depending on whether ZywOo decides to be even better than he is now. But NiP has the more potential, I think. As for right now, I think NiP yesterday showed us how early it is. We have to be realistic as well. Hampus was just brought in as a new in-game leader. They're still trying to accommodate him, trying to facilitate him within this lineup. He probably has a few ideas that he want to implement into the lineup as well, and that takes time. So I think NiP, as of right now, is a bit too immature in the sense that they're not ready to consistently beat teams like Vitality, and that's why I'm going with Vitality today. That being said, though, if NiP is hitting a good day, if Twist is showing up like he did yesterday on Astralis, there's definitely enough potential within the ranks of NiP to win. But today, I think Vitality got what it takes, and that should be enough. Also, ZywOo and RPK in the same team. I'm excited, Trace.
So let's take that right there, right? I mean, but obviously we knew Maniac was going to choose Vitality. That's a no-brainer, right? Yeah. And if I'm the Michael Scott of CS:GO, which I think is appropriate,
Sure.
Okay, well, that's all up for debate still. We'll figure that one out in due time. I think, obviously, if we look at this, we have Mirage, Nuke, and Inferno. Is this going to be an extended series? Is this going to be one of those that is done rather convincingly, or are we looking at something where it's knockdown, drag out, slobber knocker of a matchup that gives us 3 maps?
I think this is more likely to be the scenario. I think we are in a space where both teams could actually beat the opponent's pick. I can see NiP winning on Nuke. It happened last week. I can definitely see Vitality win Mirage because, as Jacob said, they know how to play the map, and NiP have given us enough reason to doubt them. So I do believe we're in for the long run. We're in for 3 maps and a banger of series.
Nah, it's gonna be a super close series. It's gonna be 2 super close maps, but I think Vitality is gonna have enough in order to edge it out on both maps. As said, I think NiP is a great prospect, and I think what we saw yesterday from NiP is most likely not gonna be the level that they're gonna showcase all the time, but it was enough to tell me that they're maybe a little bit too immature just yet in order to be ready to really take on teams like Vitality on a consistent basis. Also, as I said, Shox, he's starting to look good. Saivu is looking good. I think RPK have had a great tournament so far, at least a playoff so far has been looking good for him. So there's too many good players on Vitality right now that I believe NiP has what it takes in order to win these 2 maps.
So if I look at this, we talk about a resurgence of RPK. What does that mean to you, Maniac? You've been watching the French scene probably since you were born, actually, now that we really pinpoint it down to a specific date. So talk to me about like a resurgence of Le Tank and what exactly that means for not the French scene, but for Vitality.
Thinking about Counter-Strike since I was born, that's pretty correct. I mean, 20 years ago is the first time I played the game, so I was 9-year-old. So that's been a long ride. Listen, looking at RPK and seeing him flourish, actually, it makes me happy. I think when we brought him back to the game with Titan in 2015, it took us about 8 minutes to realize that mechanically he would always be a redundant player. He has something with the way he plays the game, a simplicity and efficiency that is not shared by many players, but he needed time to learn the game. He needed time to cut up with the meta, understand how we were playing the game. Now it's become very much more tactical than it was when he was shining in the CS Source days. So it was a long journey for him. I also think that RPK is a great teammate to have. He's a very great companion to have on war. He's always nice, always happy, always in a good mood. He's bringing positive energy. So his success just generally makes me happy.
So just to clarify, when I bring these commentators in, I'm going to make them talk about this a little bit, even though they might not know the difference. Maniac, what you've just said is that Counter-Strike Global Offensive is forever more tactically and technically challenging than Counter-Strike Source ever was. Is that, can we quote you on that?
And then 1.6. You can quote me on that.
Because Source was way more tactical than 1.6.
I know where you wanted to go. I know where you wanted to go, Trace.
No. Let's go to the game. I'm sorry, guys. We can talk about this in our digital green room down there in one of the other channels. We need to go to the casters right now, or I would like to call them commentators because that's their actual job. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Matthew. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Harry Russell and Hugo Byron, not from Brighton Beach and not from Oxfordshire, respectively, but of course they have selected sides. And Hugo, I think in this moment we look at Harry and we think, WTF, mate.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty normal day in the office, Trace. He's a real panderer to the crowds, he is. And Swedes, they didn't work for him earlier on, so he switched over to the Frenchies. Of course, Harry, you want to defend yourself here?
And the Danes. He was the Danes before that, right?
He was Swedes, he was Danes, he was all over the place, Trace. He doesn't care. He just wants the victory. He wants that medal. He wants that, necklace, medal, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Harry, take it. Defend
a pendant,
yourself.
A chain. Harry, explain yourself. Kind of give your side here. Because as someone that has, obviously done a little bit of crowd pandering in my day, what's it feel like?
Oh man, it feels great. Also, I didn't just want to, I've already had the Swedish flag up here earlier, right? I didn't just want to be Swede all day, I wanted to mix it up a bit. And the French flag's great looking. It looks lovely. I feel like I'm leading a revolution right now. I'm trying to big up Vitality to you gents. And I think Vitality have got this one in the bag. Zywoo's been looking so good as of late.
So you went from sweet to sour. I'll leave you guys on that note. Thank you so much, Hugo. Take us.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Yeah, our taste buds, they're ready and raring to go, and I hope NiP and Vitality are as well. Harry, this is a mad matchup. We have had this game 6 times in 2020 since Katowice. Actually 7 if you include a BO1 at Blast. Now, in those 6 BO3s that these guys have played, Vitality have won that 5 times. So, that really screams French to me.
Yeah, there's another reason why I have this flag in the background. Hugo, by the way, I know that you're wearing a nice little... I'd never seen you wearing this on camera yet. So
I've worn it. I wore it back at
Actually, you did wear it on... Road to Rio. What? Is there some meaning behind this?
No, this was actually bought for me by my favorite commentator in the world, actually, Trace Aranthus. He managed to pick up this big green affair. No, Harry, this is actually you. You've really kitted me out with clothes over the last few months. It's weird.
So I bought it for you, man. Yeah. I didn't even remember that. We spent so much time back in the LAN house that I completely forgot. But I guess I did. I just wanted to plug that. I guess I'm an all right guy after all.
Well, you're pushing the narrative, Harry. Trace is in my ear, and hopefully we can get security to escort him out of the building. I'm sure someone will be on the way. And well, we're waiting in the wings for NiP right now and Vitality. You know, best of 3, Harry. Are you expecting a 2-0? Are you expecting a dominant win for Vitality, or do you think it's going to be a little longer affair?
I think it could be a 2-0, if I'm being honest. I think it could be. And that's quite a big talking point, because you and me, Hugo, we don't get many 2-0s, okay? Like, we specialize in the 3-map series. Yeah. And I don't know. I think Vitality have just looked really good as of late. NiP, I'll be honest, like, they're playing for the long game, in my opinion. The immediate change of bringing Hampus in over Lekro hasn't, like, screamed great results to me off the bat, and I don't think that's why they made the change either. You know, they didn't bring Hampus in like, yeah, Lekro was just terrible, and we want to, you know, we want to start fragging. You know, like, that's not why you brought Hampus into the squad. You brought him in to take the reins when you don't have a threat in a position where he can lead during the games anymore. So it is like playing for the long game, but I think that's hurt them pretty substantially in the short term. So for me, I'm just looking at Vitality, and I'm believing they could 2-0 this. Even if you look at like win rates on these maps, right? They're massively favored on all of them. As you mentioned, they've won rather the majority of these series whenever they've met in the past before. So yeah, we've got a lot of data to go off. We've got a lot to look at, and for me, I'm just looking at Vitality through and through. Well, we are just a few seconds away from getting into the action, Harry. I think one talking point quickly that's kind of cool, as Trace zooms in my camera from the back of the studio. Security, Trace, they're on their way. What was I talking about? Danish teams, that's what I was going to say. Both these teams defeated Danish teams to actually get here in the playoffs inside of the lower bracket, right? NiP beating Astralis yesterday, I'm sure you remember that one. And of course, Heroic falling to Vitality. So yeah, that's kind of weird that both these teams have knocked out 2 of the 3 Danish teams left in this tournament. Mad Lions is the only team that now is still here. North are obviously grouped back in that Danish derby with all the Danish teams in their group as well. So yeah, we've had some pretty mad times, and you know, honestly, I agree. I think Vitality definitely got the edge here. NiP, you know, they started off this year so well, so it's such a shame to see them fall off. But like you said, like, playing for the long game, playing for the future, and hopefully all those results will come through eventually. Maybe they'll even come through here, right? Don't count NiP out. Just because everyone's leaning in the way of the French doesn't mean this one's a lock-in. And we start on NiP's map pick, a map traditionally that's not been too great for them, but that can only assume that they've been doing their homework. Yes, indeed, Hugo. We are ready to get this one underway, and it's all going to begin with an A play from NiP. Masuta back here in CT spawn has Apex and ZywOo inside the site to help him out. And ZywOo, here's a nice start to the pistol. What? Oh my goodness, he's on for the ace. Oh, he's going to get it. And that right there is why I'm flying the French flag right now. Team Vitality, they lock in a pistol round. ZywOo with an ace to begin this game. And this is what happens. If you ignore your demons catch up to you. And that's what ZywOo is. This guy is some otherworldly being. And, well, quite the beginning to this series, Hugo.
That's really, if you're NiP in the TS, you have to just laugh after that one, right? Like, what else can you even do? That's just brutal. The Glocks, they get a kill in the middle, but ZywOo's here, and he's here to double his KD. RPK also assisting from the short side. Boost could come in from lower. There's only Glocks, but there's a chance they could do some damage here. Oh dear, yeah, no head armor for Shox. He gets put down in just 2 shots. The first bullet finds him on 3, and the second, well, will end his round. ZywOo's been here the entire time. He's just turned away. RPK baiting them in, and ZywOo will escape as this bomb is retreating, and for good reason. Look at Hampus. He's already in the B bomb site. Oh no, this is a Glock round that NiP might win. This is crazy. They're running in through the apartments. Everyone's here for Vitality. They know what's going on, but they've been smoked out of the damn market, for crying out loud. There's no one there to stop them. So Vitality will regain that control as the bomb gets planted, but a man down and with a gun given over, there is still a hell of a chance. Masuta, he hears the Glock triple and he will take him down, but wow, Hampus with 3, pivots off the bench, finds everyone, and NiP, they don't spend $1, but boy, do they make some. That's just such a huge round. That's surely not something that the Vitality were accounting for. ZywOo, it's kind of a classic case, isn't it, Harry? He gets the ace in the pistol round, and then in the second, he is avoided. Oh, and it gets worse and worse.
Oh. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it, especially after such a strong start, man. That advantage now taken for NiP. They're looking to get this round locked on in. Masuda's good for one, but that's it. Ooh, nice kill from RPK. All right, maybe there is still a chance, Hugo.
Harry, I think there's one thing we need to learn from this game already from round 2 is every round is winnable. And, you know, it's something that we often forget and we get re-reminded in the wildest of times. And I think this game is one of those times. Glock a win in the second, the Force in the third, and Vitality are looking to bounce back. That Molly kills Shox. Surely it's going to spread. Surely he's dead, but no Shox. He is the fire breather, and he's going to walk right through it like it's nothing.
Oh dear, it's all onto Hampus, but he's removed one of the 3 players, now 2. Oh, he's gonna get them all. Hampus holds his own. So that round gets stolen back by NiP. What a weird start to this series, right? We had ZywOo get an ace in the pistol, then a Glock victory in the second round from NiP, then the Force buy of Vitality. And almost nets them this third round on the board, but doesn't happen. NiP are able to convert it at the very end. So now it is just vanilla pistols here, a couple of upgrades for Vitality. Not much to go off of.
Yeah, they've got Hampus to thank, right? Not only getting that FAMAS in the second round and getting 3 kills on B, but finding the 3 kills and the 1-on-2 on the A site right there. So big work from Hampus, who, yeah, like when we first saw him join this team, as often is the case, you know, he struggled individually, but he certainly looked better and better every game. And I hope, you know, Threat has had some impact in that sense as well. This is just a B clear for NiP. They're not going to have too much of a problem you'd like to think, but here I am jinxing it once again. Shox finds a kill with a pistol. Going to smoke the Molly, but Vitality getting closer. They're not waiting around. I almost like this because they've got the flank as well. Distracting is Apex in the backline. Nok lines up a double and he sprays him down with Twist's assists. And it's Apex alone. Oh, he's running the gauntlet, pistol out. He had an AK, but he didn't want to switch mid-fight, and Twist will take him down. 3 from him, 2 from Nok, and 3 for NiP. They finally get rid of the pistols. Comes at a cost, Harry, but at the end of the day, it is the lead for the Ninjas.
I'm already getting excited, though, from what we've seen from ZywOo at this A-bomb site. Even in that round there, able to put the USP to use to get kills and find success. Now, in this round, Nok tries to go through the con smoke. He actually gets cut down by Apex and ZywOo, split between mid and connector. Masuda's holding on to the palace, but they're already within the site. He's going to turn back around, but he gets dropped from beneath him. This is a bit of a weird round here. Vitality weren't really ready for NiP to be so deep, but they've recovered well. Twist comes in with 1. ZywOo's back with the response, and this leaves Twist all alone in the 1v3.
Well, Twist, Harry, if you think back to yesterday, was a bit of a clutch criminal against Astralis. He saved that series against 15, finding 3 clutches in 5 rounds, taking NiP to overtime, a lot of them with the AWP as well. It's weapon of choice, first spot, first shot, not connecting. Doesn't know there's 2 players there either. Molly on the stairs, but Twist is out of here. He's had enough. And I think that's actually a really valiant call in this one. Not one you want to make, but he might not be done. He might go ramp and try and take another fight, right? But yeah, nah, Twist is out of here. And I agree with that. You know, you got 30 health, save the orb, give away a round to Vitality, and have another chance in the follow-up. Because if we look at the money of NiP, they're not really rich by any means, but Nok can buy, he can drop a gun, Plopsky can afford 1, so we can get 4 rifles minimum here for NiP, if not more. So things are just fine and dandy. Ooh, Twist. Ooh, dear. He spots an arm and a leg, and he'll take one down. It's ZywOo gone, but no more to be found. 10 seconds, and he's out of there. That's actually a really big pick because, you know, if you win a round with 3 alive, you make profit. But if you win a round with 2 alive, you don't. So, yeah, Twist, it makes a significant difference in the bank accounts of Vitality there with just that 1 kill, finding ZywOo getting out alive. So, Vitality, they've got to buy around that. You can see ZywOo's can't afford a rifle, unfortunately, as a result. But NiP, they've got 3 guns, 2 Deegs.
Zywoo's going to go aggressive. He's not a fan of all like this waiting around, like, you know, playing Counter-Strike how it's meant to be played. No, he's a man of action, and he's a man who likes action as well. Some even call him the action man. He's over here towards the top of mid. He's actually going to take this short position instead. And that's probably the right decision to make, because Twist's AWP was homed in at the top of middle. Now that NiP start to creep on in towards mid, they've spread out. They've taken this early default, right? They got players at ramp, players at Palace grabbing some mid control. You got Plopsky holding on to apps. And so they're just waiting, hoping that they can catch Vitality a little bit out of position, you know, maybe trying to go aggressive here at some avenue of the map, and then they can just react off the back of it. The bomb is dropped in such a way that you can either pick it up rotating to B, or as Plopsky comes back from that side of the map, or maybe Twist rotates in through T-spawn, they can grab the bomb. So NiP, they can be very versatile here. They can just react based on where they find success in this round. And you will see Nork now rotating back, grabbing that bomb. This is going to be the B play as a result, with Rez lurking late out from Palace. Hampus is waiting in this mid-smoke, hoping that he gets something out of it, but Apex just deletes him at the first hurdle. And now NiP setting up this utility to try and allow this B play to come through. Plopsky with the AK, looking to open things up, and he does deal with RPK. So now the rotates come through, and Plopsky's just cutting them down. There's another man at short, and Plopsky does damage, does get found by Shox, but Twist is able to trade. It's NiP sat a man up with this bomb down.
Ooh, Apex, the timing as well. He almost got behind cover coming out from short. I think it was earlier than NiP expected, but they will swing from the site and find a fourth. Nice stuff for NiP. Looking competitive nice and early in this game, which is what we wanted, right? Like, when you look at the numbers for NiP, this map of Mirage, despite it being their pick, it really hasn't been a good map for them as of late. So, yeah, I mean, last time they played it was an overtime loss to Vitality. Game before that, an overtime loss to FaZe. So, like, you know, competitive at least, but not victories. Right now they're looking to change that, and a nice grenade from Twist with damage from Rez finds Zywoo in the window smoke. Apex deeks down one from Con, but NiP will smoke him off and keep him out of this position. RPK moving back into window. Did Zywoo drop anything? Probably not. Not more than a pistol at least, and well, RPK won't get a chance to get it anyway. Mizutu's got a weapon, but that is the only weapon for Vitality.
This is looking to end up inside of the A bomb site, but with Masuta pushed into Palace, he's able to, well, firstly, he's allowed for this double stack at B to come through, because as NiP go into the A site, he can just emerge later in the round to try and shut it down. He also gets this information that it is going to be an A play. However, that Molotov sends Masuta out of the round, and so suddenly he's going to be a lot more hard-pressed to get anything done from this Palace position. Apex has degged down a second, and then tries to come in through the connector, but Twist is ready up on top of Ticket. Masuta looked like he wanted to try and get that trade there and then, and he will look to get out from the Palace side, but Plopsky comes back around to deal with him. And so NiP now in the 3-on-1, this should be a pretty much done deal. Shox is going to look for the AK and try and run for the hills. He will get away with it for now, but Hampus catches him over in the window. NiP take themselves a 5th round. Something that I'm already liking is that it feels like we've got Plopsky and Twist both playing great in the server. I feel like Plopsky, when Lekro was in this team, man, Plopsky made all the difference. Just time and time again, he was having these incredible performances. And then as of late, it's felt a little more inconsistent with Plopsky. The fact that he's looking so good here and now, and then he's got, you know, the rest of the gang alongside him. Twist Torp is looking really good. Hampus is feeling it right now.
Ooh.
This could be a good series for NiP.
Yeah, nice change though from Vitality. They adapt and overcome. Hampus dead, and now he's got a lead from the sidelines. Plopsky, oh dear, he's ready and waiting. Zywoo walks into short and loses his life. Plopsky takes ladder. NiP back into a 4-on-4 like that, but it's immediately taken away. They know ladder has been lost, so they've got to be careful with another man there, but Rez is the man they need to be careful of. Shox trades, Plopsky finds his second of the round, and this is a great brawl for NiP, but Vitality are not letting go of the baton. RPK going back in, he's caught Plopsky with grenades out, he's going to go above the ladder. RPK spamming, he didn't hear Plopsky go up, he must have snuck the ladder, but even so, RPK caught out, and that's going to be Shox alone. It's very rare to see someone as experienced and good as RPK get surprised in such a way, but nice escape from Plopsky, his third kill of the round. Shox gambling on B, and it's the wrong call. Little does he know, Twist has a bomb on ramp. They're just waiting to see if a kill will come their way. Twist is eventually going to make his way onto the site, but that plant will be given away, and Shox can't stop it yet.
Bomb has been planted. Yeah, heartbreak for Shox. He realizes it's an A plant, and then he's going to pick up the pace, and that might just leave him walking into the firing line of Plopsky. He's been waiting so patiently. That's the AWP retrieve, but that's what Plopsky was waiting for. It was a little bit of a bait. He knew the AWP was down short side, and so he just plays around that. He knows that if Shox has gone towards B, he's going to try and retrieve that gun.
Smart.
So he'll mop this round up. It's another one on the board for NiP. This is unreasonable.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, the jump as well. He just hits space and goes flying forward. Oh dear. I saw he went above. I didn't see he landed on his head. Like, that was crazy. Yeah, Plopsky looking good. Twist alongside him, and these two are a big reason as to why NiP are in such a good position. They clutch out that round, and they lead 6-2 on the T side. Yeah, as said, 16 maps in 2020. That's a lot of maps for a head-to-head anyway, but as said, 6 BO3s in that, 5 of them won by Vitality, and almost every single one of them going to 3 maps. So, worth keeping that in mind. Deegs out for the Frenchman. NiP is going to go for a flat A take, and there's no one here to stop them. Vitality have stacked B. Mazuta's the only man here. He needs like 3 kills for this to even be close for Vitality. Good luck.
Well, he said he needs 3. He gets 1 and then gets traded. That is all for Masuta. Zaiwu was spotted over in jungle, and that needs a nade to follow up on an Apex, who takes up that position. Bomb going down, and Plopsky on a real tear right now, gets fully blinded by that flash, but Twist has got his back. And we get the info that even more players reside here. Plopsky takes matters into his own hands, and NiP, they get a 7th on the board. And this is scary. You've got kind of all the right players showing up, and then you still have guys like Nork, who it's really not uncommon to see him popping off for NiP. You've still got him like waiting in the wings. We haven't even had to see him really, perform just yet. So this is a pretty scary spot to be in.
And NiP calling out a pause after a round win. That's what I like to see. That's some good stuff right there, Harry. That's belief in your own game plan, and even realizing where things aren't going, perfectly. And if you can like patch up those holes when you're already winning a game, and be like, okay, like we need to watch out for this and this. Well, NiP, they're only going to keep building. Vitality obviously getting to use that pause as well, getting to discuss as they go into this next gun round. It's a double AWP as well coming through. Zaiwu and Shox. Quite the duo, but is it going to be enough to get Vitality back on this board?
Ooh, this is ballsy. Shox has gone into this smoke. Flash is going to fall past him, and they see him. Plopsky shuts down Shoxy up in the apartments. RPK now trying to hold down the B site, and hold it down he shall. While this goes on, Zaiwu has bested Twist in the AWP head-to-head, but Nork getting out towards ramp. We said that Nork hasn't really been in a spot yet where we've needed him to get many kills. This is one of those rounds. It's him and Rez left standing. These two currently bottom of the board for NiP, and they're in this 2-on-3. They haven't really had a chance to show us what they're made of yet. And so let's see if we get that here and now. Rez is going to get the bomb planted. RPK moving in from Catwalk alongside him. Apex and Zaiwu. through jungle and CT respectively. But there's Apex deleted. That's Rez finding the kill. Nork up here on the Palace, waiting, watching, keeping an eye on CT. ZywOo's gonna best him. And this leaves Rez at ramp, 1v2 now. He hears the player dropping off the stairs. He knows where both of them are, but the bomb, oh dear, it's not planted for him. And he gets that kill. Nade onto ZywOo's gonna do a lot of damage. Rez is there to finish it off. And he gets that 1v2 in. 3 kills in the round and an 8th on the board for NiP. Rez and Nork, they might have been bottom of the board there, but they show us that when it matters most, you can still depend on them.
Yeah, that's huge. And I was wondering what NiP's game plan was there. They had 2 HEs and a Molotov in the post part, like loads of options available. But you know, first player, Nork sat on the balcony in the open, left it to Rez, and that grenade actually does so much damage. It probably is the difference between him getting that Glock kill and not. ZywOo on the defuse and Vitality. They've got nothing to show in this map so far. They had a good start. That is it. Hampus, he'll finish Mizuta. NiP, oh dear, they need to check this close corner. Hampus doesn't look ready, but the USP also isn't too steady. Nice trade from Apex, but quickly and swiftly returned. And that's going to be the round. Shox alone on B. Shox put up a tweet up today with the list, I don't know if you saw this, Harry, with the HLTV list of clutches, of most clutches. He's actually above Zipex. Sitting in 3rd place was your boy Snacks. Polish prodigy, young upcoming talent that some people may have heard of. But yeah, that's kind of crazy to think Shox has the most clutches out of. I don't know what the metric was, but he was above Zipex and Snacks, and that's enough for me. It's in the 600 range.
That's enough, man. Yeah, you don't even have to know what the categories are, or like, just believe what it says. Because like, why would anyone on the internet lie? That's
yeah, especially not Shoxy, Harry. I don't know what you're implying here, but
oh no. I mean, I've seen the stat as well. Let's see, Shox. This would be a good clutch. He's actually going to snipe one down. And
yeah, fair enough.
The tail. That's kind of cool. He just runs in at the end, does a bit of damage. But damage is one thing. It's like it's not really much damage control here for Vitality. It's 9 on the board for NiP, and they're not really showing any signs of slowing down. And Vitality aren't really showing any signs of speeding up either. This has felt very, very one-sided thus far.
Well, is speed the solution? ZywOo looking to answer that question. Set up quickly in mid, but that's a missed shot. Oh dear, oh dear. The cracks are beginning to show for Vitality. And NiP in control of this game in every way, shape, and form. Hampus, he has a bit of an idea that Shox is in the window, but not using his Molotov yet, going to save it for Connector. That could be info that Shox uses to peek, and there's no one covering this right now. They're moving up Catwalk. That smoke is perfectly timed. Plopsky's deep in B, and the bomb's coming to join him, but there's a rotation in the form of ZywOo. He's moved this AWP over. Flash up Cat for Hampus. Going to get players into the ladder. And NiP, they're just ready to crunch B. Here they go.
There's only one man who was anything to say, and that man was RPK, but he gets shut down, and this round's falling apart as well. I mean, this feels crazy one-sided right now. Mizuta gonna deal with one, but that's it. This is the round over and done with. Make no mistake about it. Shox, let's see. He's gonna give it a bit of a go, and oh, maybe it's not over and done with yet. Shox looking to give us another stat to add to the collection when it comes to these clutches. It's this crossfire that should have him dead to rights. And yeah, trying to run the gauntlet there. Plopsky finds the kill. NiP reach double digits as they put 10 on the board.
Yes, look at this from ZywOo. He gets like 2 bulleted. He was holding for the boost, and well, that never came through. They swung on him. Apex getting caught by Hampus there as well. We've had a lot of that. We've had a few rounds where Mizuta and Apex on that A site have been caught out by NiP players lurking out ramp or coming in late from mid. And that's because NiP have been doing a really good job of not like committing early. I've actually really liked the game plan here. Like a lot of rounds where they just take deep B control and then they walk out A in the 2 on X. And think about that as well. NiP, they've won 2v4s in this game. So it's pretty mad. Nice shot from Shox. One weapon in this round for Vitality, and it needs to provide something. It has taken a man out, but Hampus is already in the jungle and the window. Plopsky firing through the Palace, and Shox, now he feels a lot more alone. Luckily, RPK is going to get Rez and come through Connector, but it's just these 2 left up. And oh, RPK's had enough on his second. Shox has 1 to his name as well, and this is very doable. Nork knows it. He's running away.
Yeah, Plopsky's still here and could try and sell this as a bit of a fake. There are 2 players in comm, one of those being the AWP of Shocks. He might go for the peek into Palace from the boost. Instead, he's just going to swing on out and he deals with Plopsky. Now this bomb on Nork's back, going to go down inside of the B site. But I'm a big fan of a Nork AWP. He's in this 1v2. And Vitality is still waiting outside of A. Now they realize it's not A, it's B. They start to rotate, but this has cost them a little bit of time. Nork is already on this angle as well, and he spots the first man. Oh, he should have seen them both there. The timing just a couple of seconds out. They're going to barrel through the window. Nork lights up the first. RPK now trying to get in, and he does dome Nork. Defuse going to come through, and Team Vitality, I'll take a third.
That was a spanking round from RPK, man. Those 2 1-digs. Oh, he rids a man in jungle as well, and even wins that seemingly impossible one-on-one towards the bench. Lovely stuff. But Harry, it's coming at a time that is full of tribulations for the side of Vitality. They're down 10-3, even with that eco win. God, those are some great shots, but are they going to be able to keep Vitality in this game right now? NiP still have all the money in the world to fall back on, and they will buy up until the end of this half. Double AWP again for Vitality. ZywOo's been good. He's going to make the catch-up again. Ooh, NiP are bursting into middle, but the flashes are impeccable. ZywOo can't see a thing. He peeks in late and finds one, but a chance to back up with no trade from NiP. That's exactly what Vitality wants.
Still, keep your eye on a man like Hampus right now, right? We've mentioned how these comm players feel like they keep getting away with a hell of a lot, and he sneaks through this smoke and, just deletes Masuta, makes it look a little too easy, if you ask me. And now this bomb looking to come in through mid, up through connector. Apex could catch a timing to find it, but they go back, and Twist actually nails him with the AWP. Shocks now from back in CT, wants to try and deny this plant, but he's not able to do so, and he gets tapped down by Nork. This is just a masterclass from NiP, and Vitality getting caught sleeping at the wheel again with this comm play. Just nobody watching it means this A site falls apart.
Ooh, near shot on ZywOo's escape, and well, you know, we're bigging up the save, but at this point, it's not really going to matter. 11 rounds for NiP. They instantly respond as Vitality take another. Vitality haven't had back-to-back rounds in this game, and so that's a huge problem when it comes to money. They've not had the economy. Even when they've had double AWPs as well, it feels like only ZywOo's gotten away with effect from his, right? We had Shocks get a couple in the other round with RPK, but that's it. And yeah, look at that. Masuta, he doesn't even get a chance to play the round. Mazuta's been getting caught off a lot, and that is unlucky for him. But yeah, I mean, kind of make your own bed there, right? When you leave those positions open. 11-3, and NiP, they've got to be feeling pretty damn suave right now. Lots of utility in middle to start the round. One AWP on ZywOo. He's going to take it solo B for now.
RPK's tried his hand at the lower aggression, and he's got Apex with him. They can catch a hell of a lot here from this, and they turn back. They deal with RPK, but they weren't ready for Apex in this same spot. Now they are, and they're starting to try and deal with him. They're all collapsing in onto Apex, but he is not faltered. ZywOo's there to round it out, and at the end of the half, it's 4-11. NiP still with quite the lead. You're going to have to join us after just a quick break for the second half of play here on the first map between Team Vitality and NiP.
Carry the burden, carry the load. I'm on
The Ninjas in Pajamas are storming through Mirage. 11-4 on their T side. It's their map pick in the series, and Vitality, well, they look like they need to warm up. ZywOo doesn't. He already came to the server already and raring with an ace in the opening pistol round. Let's see if he can get another.
Yeah, that's quite a tall order, but, you know, we'll see if he can manage it. Alion, Masuta, and Shox are going to throw in some utility over at this A site. These are the smokes for jungle and stairs, but they rotate back. And now they try and split mid into this B bomb site. So they've attempted to fake A. They leave CT open, and this has meant that NiP haven't rotated any one round yet. This leaves just Plopsky now at the B bomb site. He's playing the trigger discipline, shuts down the first, follows up with another onto Shoxy, and Masuta and Apex suddenly thrown into a 2-on-4. This was looking good, right? NiP, they kind of fell for the fake. There was only the two players here at B, but because Plopsky has held the fort long enough, the rotations have come in, and this round has fallen apart for Team Vitality.
Yeah, that's a weird one. They just throw standard A smokes, but I never understand why teams throw A smokes and don't at least send one player behind them, because, you know, not only is there Rez in spawn just spotting A and realizing that no one's pushed out ramp, but there's a player in jungle and he just peeks connector and sees two dudes running catwalk. He gives that info to the B players, and NiP just don't rotate. And yeah, Vitality, RPK gets one kill and then they assume, B's empty. You know, there's only one here. They rotated from my A smokes. No, they never fell for them. They never believed them for a second. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe, you know, hoping that NiP make mistakes off the back of that round for Vitality, but you're kind of relying on your opponents to fall for it. And, well, NiP, they fall for nothing. Right now, it's a fall from grace for Vitality, and a force spike could put them back up in their place, but that grenade always coming in hot, and ZywOo will just avoid it, escaping back to spawn with Galil. Might want to give that to someone else in this round. He's on 5.
Yeah, they give him the deagle, and he decides, you know what, I'm 5 HP. I'll take every fight I can. He's going to wait in top mid, and from here, he can try and cut off any rotations through the catwalk, while the rest of his team try and exec into B. Now, Plopsky's gone aggressive into the apartments. He's up on top of the sofa. He's just lounging right now, and he gets one. Follows up with a second. He's done all he needed to do, really. ZywOo falls over in mid in the meantime, and this is a bit of a disaster. Apex has gone back to check the lower tunnels, but he's the man who's meant to be grabbing the bomb because Masuta hasn't.
No.
So now he leaves the tunnels after holding it this whole time. Well, the moment he's left, Rez has moved into position and is coming in on this lurk from behind. He isn't quite able to drop the bomb, and he's actually given up the aim of the game that he's here on this flank. Apex left in the clutch, a 1v2. Does light up North, and now just Rez left to find, but Rez with 10 points of health is able to best him. And NiP, they get this 13th round on the board.
That was a nice try from Masuta. He jumps up on the balcony to replace the position that Apex just came from. And so when Apex drops, Rez thinks that Apps is clear and then gets swung on. Unfortunately for Masuta, he dies and Rez gets a kill. He was low, right? But yeah, that's a nice idea there for Vitality. Fortunately, not going to work wonderfully. And the late arrival to the B-bomb site will cost them 13-4. NiP 2 in a row in the second half. But this is it. This is the round of all rounds here for Vitality. They're actually buying in the third. I thought they were going to buy at 14, but I guess they make last round close, right? They get 4 kills, and so they think that NiP's money is low. If we break it here, we can get back into the game. But the buy provided is damn good, despite the losses in the last. 1 shotgun, 4 rifles, and an A execute for Vitality. This is weird. They're all over Tetris. This is like a matchmaking game, Harry. No one's crossing the site.
Yeah, and as I know from matchmaking, when this happens, it doesn't end well. Normally, at least. Let's see.
Ooh.
ZywOo with a nice shot has bested Hampus back in CT. And they're just going to wait. They wait in sandwich as well. They still don't know that Nork is in the site. And as long as he doesn't go for any info peaks here and just holds with the shotgun, his position can be pretty valuable. Flash is going to go over and Nork tries to peek on the back of it. Shotgun's 1 out of the round. Ooh, wow. And a follow-up as well. It's all on Shox in the blink of an eye. But this man in clutches, we know he's a big fan of them. He shuts down the first 2. And now looks to fall back. Plopsky takes the peek through stairs. And the timing just missed by Shox. NiP reached 14, and with no bomb plant in that round, there's no money now for Vitality up against this 14 rounds to NiP.
It's very easy to criticize that round from Vitality, but I want to at least give a bit of context to those who maybe don't think about it. There was no utility in that round at all for Vitality. They forced, right? And so, of course, it doesn't really work, but that's why they try and sit in the Tetris and the sandwich. They know that they're waiting for fights from the site, but NiP have just been so sick and so safe. Flashing Nork there, what a good bit of patience for NiP. And well, this time they're going to get crunched on A. They will lose a man and be down by 1 as Vitality go for this bomb plant. Rez with a Molotov, a lineup that will land default. He's going to get tagged though, and the grenade will kill him. Nice work from RPK. The site is still Vitality's. They're just waiting out the fire. Twist is coming in on rotation, but the flash is good. NiP may have good utility, but so do Vitality as they keep these ninjas out the site. It's Hampus with a full deck of utility, but he's too far away to even consider this.
Now, Vitality are pretty dedicated to hunting him down right now. They know, right, that as a result of making these last few rounds close, the money isn't going to be ideal for NiP. At the same time, once they get a certain distance, they kind of decide, yeah, I guess our money is pretty important too. And he can keep this M4 for a week here. So Hampus will live to fight another day, but that M4 is really the only thing that should be bought into this round for NiP.
Good trading on the A site for Vitality in that round, but yeah, they're gonna go back to it. I wonder if they're gonna just keep running these dry XX, or if they're gonna start throwing smokes now that they actually have the utility. Because eventually NiP are going to start stacking A, and well, they've almost done that in this round. 3 players, 2 in the site, 1 in the jungle. Nice shot from Twist, man. He's been so good. Doesn't matter what gun you give him. Big bit of a D shot from Rez connecting. Twist will finish the job started by Rez, and oh dear, the combo of the primary and the secondary is making Vitality sweat.
They've been just as sweaty on the rotation. Shock's trying to go blow for blow through the smoke, and that's a little bit overzealous. While he's fighting, Hampus just swings the stairs, even spots ZywOo and takes his head off, and it's Apex all alone. Hampus, man, just explodes into the map. And, we were kind of talking about how, when you bring Hampus in, you weren't bringing him in to bring some, big-time fragger into the roster. You were looking for a leader, and that's why he replaces Lekro. Well, he's making a case for either or in this situation right now. He's delivering some good calls to the rest of the team and putting up some big numbers as well. And the same really cannot be said for really anyone on the Vitality side, outside of maybe ZywOo. Even he's been pretty quiet in these last few rounds. Finally, we're going to get to see him with the AWP in hand over on this T side, but up against 15, this could be the only AWP we get to see him don right now.
And that's a sad reality, Harry, considering how he started this game. He aced the USP pistol round in the first half. I thought this was going to be Vitality running the board, but yeah, I've got to say, NiP have really surprised me, and in the best of ways. They looked so good, and Vitality, is just not having any answers here. Fast play up into connector, that Molotov, it will do a bit of a beating the way of Apex, but it's not going to be the con to A, it's cap to B with no splits. Shot through the smoke from Twist, throws the bomb at Hampus, and he gets flashed up as well for another kill. There is a trade, but they're already a man down, and Apex is hiding in the connector, hoping when that smoke fades, he can get a kill on an A player. ZywOo will steal it, though, from the other side, and now Vitality can just sit back and wait if they want. They have 40 seconds. They were going to try and see if NiP get them a kill, but they need to make their minds up now as to what site they want to eventually end up at.
Ooh, Apex, is he going to check for Nork? Oh no, as he's going around, Rez actually spots him, and now they never even find out that Nork is here. And so Nork can get away with a hell of a lot. ZywOo gets blindsided. Shox has got so many angles to try keep an eye on. It just doesn't happen. NiP, they take it. They get this one locked on in.
That's insane, Harry. And that's their map pick in the series as well, right? We got NiP coming up after. That's going to be Vitality's pick. But I don't know what to expect now, right? Like, that was a great game, but it almost felt like Vitality... We didn't see the Vitality that we've been seeing, not only for this entire tournament, but for, the 5 of 6 BO3s these two teams have played against each other in 2020, 5 of which Vitality have won. So, yeah, kind of crazy scenes here, but I don't know what you make of it. You're rocking the Swedish flag, Harry. It's not that you were supporting the Frenchies at the start of the day, so, nothing's changed.
No, man, nothing's changed. Like I said, at NiP, dude, they're not to be trifled with, Hugo. And I'm liking what we're seeing out of them. The fact that you got Plopsky, Twist, and Hampus all firing off, and then you still have guys like Nort waiting, raring to go. I know, man. I think this actually isn't going to be plain sailing for Team Vitality after all. With their map pick coming up next, there's still a chance. You're going to have to join us after a break for it, so don't go anywhere.